After watching Furiosa, I've been devoting all of my free time to figuring out how we can clone George Miller, because I need at least 1,000 more of these movies during my lifetime. With that being said, can this new film stack up against one of the best action epics ever created in Mad Max Fury Road? Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? I'm Sully, and today I'm super excited because we finally get to talk about the brand new film from the mastermind that is George Miller, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. All you need to know about this one is that the story goes like this. As the world falls, young Furiosa is snatched from the green place of many mothers into the hands of a great biker horde led by the warlord Dementus. Sweeping over the Wasteland, they encounter the Citadel, presided over by Immortan Joe. The two tyrants wage war for dominance, and Furiosa must survive many trials as she puts together the means to find her way home. Okay, so it should come as no surprise here that this is a movie that I have been impatiently waiting for ever since it was first announced. At the end of the day, I'm an action guy through and through. I definitely think that's the genre I spend the most time watching. And before John Wick Chapter 4, I think that Mad Max Fury Road was the last action movie that I saw on the big screen that really left my jaw on the floor. So naturally, any future entries in this series would have giant chrome and sandy shoes to fill. And luckily for us, George Miller knows this Wasteland like the back of his hand at this point, ever since he made that first Mad Max film almost 50 years ago now. And he's not gonna put out another movie in this franchise if it doesn't make you feel like you're driving an 18-wheeler headfirst into a sandstorm off of 2 hours of sleep. And by the end of the film, I was ready to shave my head and cover myself head to toe in white paint, because it just might deliver the best movie-going experience that 2024 has to offer. Now, we have to spend a good amount of time talking about the action here, because that's really what you're signing up for when you strap in to watch this post-apocalyptic desert epic. It should come as no surprise when I say that George Miller has not lost his fastball in that department. All of the action sequences we get in here are loud, entertaining, sometimes funny, and always super creative. This is the kind of movie where you're gonna have to actively remind yourself to take a breath and make sure you blink from time to time, because you're gonna be left wondering how the hell this crazy bastard behind the camera somehow pulled this shit off again. There's a highway truck chase scene in the middle of the movie that left me grinning from ear to ear, because it really feels like a video game sequence in all of the best ways possible. Slowly building, getting more frantic, and throwing increasingly desperate enemies at our main character as she tries to navigate her way through the Wasteland. And I think the quality of the action here is just as good as what was done in the previous film, but it doesn't match the quantity. There's a reason for that though. The story this time around is a little bit more patient and meandering than what was done in Mad Max Fury Road, which is obviously just a 2-hour shot of adrenaline to the gut. And there's obviously still a lot of that in there with Furiosa, but it's much more of a revenge tale that shows us how this character became the person we know from the previous installment and what they went through to trigger that entire transformation. There's also a whopping amount of lore and world building compared to the last outing, showing us tons of different factions and big scale conflicts that are going on at different ends of the Wasteland. I absolutely gobble that kind of shit up. I love it. But I will admit, since they cover so much ground, there are some minor story details glossed over and conversations occurring off screen that would have added to my overall experience had they been included in the final cut of the film. But there's nothing here that you won't be able to fill in the blanks on yourself. Let's talk about the performances here though, because every action movie is only really as good as their main hero and villain, and we obviously spend a lot of this movie's runtime with Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth in their respective roles. I think they both do a terrific job in this film and are really given a chance to strut their stuff. It's admittedly not the most talkative role ever for Anya Taylor-Joy, which is to be expected after how little Tom Hardy spoke when he helmed one of these films, but don't let that fool you and make you think she doesn't have a lot to do here. She's out there snapping necks and cashing checks. I know there were some people that thought she wouldn't be up to the task of leading a project like this. I am not one of them. She delivers a great, nuanced performance. Chris Hemsworth probably does the best work that I've ever seen from him here. Thank God people are slowly realizing that this guy is really funny and he has the chops to dish out a larger-than-life villain performance. I really think he's perfectly utilized in the film. And I'd be remiss not to shower some praise onto Alila Brown as well. She plays the even younger version of Furiosa in the movie. And you know that I always think that kid actors can make or break a project, and we actually spend a lot more time with her than I was expecting expecting. She absolutely kills it and does everything in her power to almost completely steal the show, and that's big coming from me. But everyone here perfectly embodies their roles and feel right at home in this dusty, weird, and thrilling epic. This movie rocks, I don't know what else to say. Overall, guys, Furiosa pretty much gives you everything you could possibly want out of big budget action filmmaking. The stakes, the visuals, and the performances all culminate to offer up the most pulse-pounding movie of the entire year. Make sure you don't go into this one expecting it to have the same exact structure and feel as Mad Max Fury Road, but if you want to learn more about this Wasteland and are already a fan of revenge tales in general, you better buckle up. George Miller, you did it again, you absolute beauty. Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, gets a Sully score of 4.5 stars. So that's my review for the latest Mad Max movie. What do you think is the best action film that's come out in the past decade? I'm probably at a tie between Fury Road and John Wick Chapter 4, but let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys at the next one.